We're here at the open market OC. Let's take a look what's inside. There are some amazing things to be found. There were footprints on the floor to follow the steps over to a stairway, and all of a sudden, it was like being in a speakeasy. This whole big floor, the whole second floor of Macy's. I'm here today with Ian Winterbotham, who is one of the co-owners and mastermind behind this unique marketplace. And Ian, I'm hoping you can tell us a little bit about how this place came about, the concept, and how is it doing?
Well, it's doing great. It's a very fun and exciting place. We wanted to create something where the small business could have, exposure in a large retail environment. The challenges of running and owning a small business have become, increasingly difficult over the past few years. So we created this concept, found the space, and got it rolling.
Well, have you had other enterprises like this? Have you done this with other malls? Or is this a new idea?
This concept here on the second floor is a brand new idea. My partner and I have many years experience in the retail furniture industry, which is why we incorporated our first floor of the design center, home furniture. But this independent type marketplace is something new.
And how did you go about finding all the artisans and all of the different vendors? That must have been quite an enterprise. Where did they come from?
They come from a variety of places. I went out to street fairs, special shows, other marketplaces on a smaller scale, and just found something where they could have a storefront 7 days a week. That was everyone's challenge, being out at these shows and small markets, was the early rise, set up, tear down, day after day, and they were just really tired of it. So we wanted to make a permanent marketplace at a price point that makes sense for them.
I certainly understand, and I would imagine the artists are thrilled that they don't have to be here all day, every day. You have one checkout place for them to sell their things.
Yes, that is one of the best features of this concept, is that you don't have to have employees. You can set up your store, you can merchandise everything, and then you can go do whatever else you need to do. You have the option to be here. It's always nice to be here and engage with the customers. But we've set it up where, if life takes you a different direction, you have the ability to leave and your items can still sell 7 days a week as if you were, at your store.
Well, it just seems too good to be true almost. But I understand that in addition to the vendors and the artists, the different artisans, you also offer different events. And you recently had a steampunk fashion show, I heard. What else is coming up?
We have all kinds of events scheduled. We have 5 classrooms. We have our music stage, fashion runway. We have fundraisers. In a few weeks, we're launching our free kids art program, where kids can come in and sample different styles of art, and then get an introduction to our structured programs. This spring, we're having a very large art exhibition and contest. All of Orange County artists, 3 different mediums with great prizes.
Oh my gosh.
And then on a daily basis, we have classes and workshops. We do macrame classes, which is some samples right here. We do, succulent workshops, jewelry making classes, painting classes. Some of our amazing artists, run their own classes through here. And another thing we just announced was we offer free use of our venue space for outside classes and programs. We had some bunco groups, we had a knitting group, and they come and just relax, enjoy themselves. They can shop a little bit. We have our artisan food area with some amazing local food makers.
I am here today talking with Cheryl of the Blessed Braid. Cheryl, tell me a little a bit about this. How did you end up doing this? And is this the first time you've had a retail operation? Tell me all about the history of this.
Okay. Well, I've been making challah bread for many, many years. And I've always had really great responses from people. It's delicious. It's amazing. So I thought I should make it a business. And then I found Open Market OC, where I could market my challah to the general public and really get a lot of feedback and see if I get proof of concept from that. And so I said, it's a great opportunity. I can't pass it up.
What a fabulous idea. And now, do you make this every day and bring it in? Do you take orders over the phone? How do you keep it fresh and all of that?
That's a good question. So yes, I do take orders over the phone, and people can email me. They can also go to my website and order, and they can stop and see me here and say, okay, I need a raisin challah for next Friday, and I'll make them one.
This is fabulous to know. You know, we have, living in Laguna Woods, which you do too, I understand, we have such a large Jewish community, and there are no really good Jewish bakeries around, as far as I know. So you are a welcome addition here.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now tell me, what are the best-selling breads that you have?
Well, everyone likes the traditional, okay? And then I do have sesame seed and poppy seed and raisin. My favorite is the raisin because I like the sweetness, and it makes really great French toast. It's all dairy-free, no preservatives, all hand-baked, and it's my own recipe. I created my recipe, so it's unique to me.
I'm so happy you could be here with us today, and good luck with everything you have going on.
Well, thanks so much, Susan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about calendar stickers. I have not heard of that before.
Of course, yes. So decorating your planner is a new trend, and I can show you an example of it over
I'd
here.
love to see it. I'd love to see that. So decorating a planner that is like a calendar.
Yes. So this is an example of a paper planner. We actually
Right.
don't sell the planners itself, but we sell a lot of like office supplies and accessories to decorate your planner. So for example, we have stickers right here. So instead of just planning with pen and paper, it makes it a little bit more fun to plan your goals and things you want to do and things like that.
I love this idea. And at the end of the year, just think of what that whole calendar will look like. I mean, it will be a work of art, and you can look back on it
Yes.
and really remember very visually what you've done throughout the year. Thank you so much for visiting with us today, and I wish you well with your beautiful shop.
Thank you so
You are a
much.
very talented person.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
Thanks
it.
again. I'm here today with Lloyd Walter, a wood-turning artist who lives in Laguna Woods. And Lloyd, I'm hoping you can tell me a little bit about your history with woodworking and how long you've been doing this.
I'm a rather old fellow, grew up in the country, and so a lot of practical background in that, and did practical woodworkers most of my life, fix the shelf, fix the screen door, do the addition. But 19 years ago, I ran across a bunch of woodworkers in the mall showing off their stuff, and I thought I could do that. Bought a cheap $280 lathe, and I guess I liked it because 3 years later I bought a good one. Again, newly found wood in your neighborhood, so most of it's green, soft. People worry about that. They say, how do you draw it? I don't. I rather than dry it, I try to turn it immediately. Now wood, when it dries, it shrinks. So if it's drying on the outside and the middle is still fat, it'll check. And so we don't want that. So we try to protect it initially, and I turn it as thin as I can. And when it's thin enough, like these are, it'll dry all the way through all at once and not have to check.
So I'm just visualizing here what these pieces look like when you first found this big lump of wood. What's the first thing you do? I mean, you have your machine and you examine the wood, and how do you know what you're going to find inside once you start turning it?
Well, if it's a wood I haven't used before, I may get some and try it. Sometimes with a little experience, you can judge how it's going to be, and you can see how hard it is, and if there's character to the grain, and particularly if there's color in it. And then I'll take the chunk they give me, and I'll cut it into more manageable sizes and seal the ends so they don't check too quickly.
Got it. And now, how many different kinds of woods are we looking at? Which is the one that you find most easy to work with? And which the most
At
difficult?
one point I counted something over 50 different kinds of wood. There's probably maybe a couple dozen here. The ones I like the best, I like manzanita. It's hard,
That is
pretty
beautiful.
regular, and you can see the pieces. That's the natural openings that are in it. And people worry about it flying apart when you're turning it.
I can see that, but it just exposes the natural beauty of the way that piece of wood was grown. It's
And I enjoy
amazing.
it, and it takes such a nice finish and a shine that, and the fact that a few people are afraid of it, that
I
adds
can
to the
see
challenge.
it looks almost lacy. It looks so delicate, but it has just definite character. Tell me a little bit about this. The other pieces here.
Now, whereas most of these are made from a chunk, like a chunk of firewood, this is, I bought lumber. You can see the levels of the pieces. Now, these are like wedges fitted together, and every layer is a different dimension. So these required a fairly accurate drawing.
So each piece has not just this has been turned into such a beautiful piece of art, but it has a history of where that tree came from and how it grew. And can you tell how many years old some of these pieces are?
You could count basically you can count the rings. It isn't a perfect answer, but it's pretty close to the age of the tree.
All right. Well, Lloyd, thank you. This has been very educational. And I know I've seen your work at the Festival of the Arts. You are a famous wood turner, and we've seen there.
At least amongst my family.
Oh, we love it, and we're so happy to have you here at the mall.
I enjoy it.
Thank you, Lloyd.
Thank you.
Welcome to another edition of Beyond the Gates. I'm your host, Bill Hemberger. This is the Oso Trail. It's a walking trail not far from Gates 3 and 4 from Laguna Woods Village. Just a beautiful walk for any time of day. And I have an expert with me who knows the trail very, very well, and her name is Elaine. And Elaine, my first question, am I saying this correctly? Is it Oso or Oso?
Oso.
So it's Oso.
Oso.
And my next question is a little bit naive. I'm sure some people will probably know this. What does Oso stand for?
Oso is Latin for bear. It's the genus of the species of bear, California bear.
And where are we standing right now?
We're standing in the Celebration Garden, which is a lovely area with 10 pillars built over a 10-year period. And it started in 1997 on Earth Day, when a group of community members got together to celebrate the arts and the environment, and then it took off. So then each year after that, they built a pillar. So there are 10 pillars depicting certain things about the environment.
Now, who takes care of this whole, I mean, it goes for a good distance. I mean, just who takes care of this?
It's a Mission Viejo Park. There are volunteers who have planted a lot of what you see here in the way of growth, and then the maintenance people keep it all nice for us.
I mean, it's beautiful. And the first thing I notice is to me, I mean, just my sense of humor, it looks like they broke apart 50s and 60s bathrooms and kitchens to form and put up the pillars.
Yes, a lot of the materials that were used to build the pillars and also some of the walls and the walking paths were recycled materials from other projects.
So it could be from a 50s or 60s kitchen or bathroom.
It could be, yes, you're right. Yes.
Okay, Elaine and I are going to travel the park. I think you're going to really enjoy this. Again, it's a great walk from either Gates 3 or 4, like 5-10 minute drive at most to get here. And let's go explore some more. Bill here at the maze, and what's about maybe a quarter-mile walk across the bridge from where we were at Celebrity Park.
Probably, yes, yeah.
And this was it's all plants, and I think this is probably a place for kids rather than adults. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're absolutely right. Yeah, they love it. They love it.
It took Elaine and I 5 minutes to get to the middle here. So it is a maze, and it's quite amazing. But do you know what kind of plants these are?
They look like boxwood, but I'm not quite sure. It's some kind of an evergreen that, holds up all year.
Now, was this built initially with the park in 1997?
I think it came later, and I believe a lot of these sites in the park evolved over time as different community groups saw a need for it and got it approved and put some elbow grease into it, and these sites became a reality. But one funny thing about the maze, I was here one day, and there was a mom with two boys, and she was trying desperately to get them out of the maze to go home, and they were just not having it. So it's very popular with the kids.
It's very popular with adults too. I found it fascinating because I've seen these things like in puzzles and magazines.
Yeah.
I've never really done one. So Beyond the Gates is the first time I've ever done this. This is great.
Yeah, I lost my husband almost 5 years ago. At that time, I was working
And Elaine and I have gone down about a third of a mile on the trail here to this obelisk. It's a beautiful piece of art. What is this?
Okay, this is the Peace Obelisk, and it is dedicated to the victims of 9/11.
Now, this is not material from the World Trade Center?
No, it's not. But a lot of the material, as I had mentioned, is from recycled materials in the city. So, but where exactly it all came from, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it looks like it's made of tin,
Yeah.
and it looks like an artist has done every single
Yes.
piece of, in some of it's even in a different language. It looks like maybe not.
Yeah, and there are pieces in different languages on either side.
So, needless to say, beyond the gates, there's plenty to see in this park, and there's just wonderful trails, and as you'll see, more coming up.
Oh, see the ducks,
Ducks, yeah, look at the ducks.
the whole family.
And this is the Oso Creek,
Oso Creek.
Oso Creek.
There's a pair of mallards playing in the water. They're a male and a female, and mallards mate for life. They also are well known for having large groups of chicks, anywhere from 7 to 9. That's a large egret, that white bird, and that must be a chick. It's her chick. Unlike the mallards, they only have 1 or 2 chicks in a season. And she's teaching her chick how to find food.
Okay, Elaine and I have now ventured up in Oso Park to the character wall. And it's not really for 13 walls, it's 13 murals. And what do they depict?
They depict the history of Mission Viejo from prehistoric times up until today.
So are there any dinosaur footprints?
No, not so much, but there are some depictions of woolly mammoth and some other prehistoric creatures. When they dug out a lot of this valley originally to build, they found fossilized remains of a lot of the prehistoric animals, because originally this whole area was an inland lake, was all water in prehistoric times.
And just a great end to this walk, which I'm sure everyone in the village would love.
Yes, for sure.
Welcome to Green Thumb Nursery. We are here at a family-owned nursery that has been here since 1965. And we have a tour that awaits with Karen Sandell, who is the manager. So come on in and let's see what we can find. We're here at Green Thumb Nursery, and I'm here with store manager Karen, who's going to tell us a little bit about the nursery.
Green Thumb Nursery has been here for quite a few years in this location. 1965 is when we opened this location, and there was little here except I think there was one housing tract. The original store opened up in Canoga Park in 1946. It's a family-owned business, and still is a family-owned business, second generation. At Canoga Park, The owner was Dale Berquist, and now the sons and daughters of him are now in charge of the business. We here, as I said, have been here since 1965. The original building was actually a car garage that was here. We have built on and built on and built on. We actually have quite a bit of acreage here, which is unusual, but that's because we've been here for so long. So we're very lucky that way.
And you said you have how many employees at this particular store?
It varies between 55 and 60.
And I think we're going to be checking out some of the other rooms in a minute here. So it looks like we have a beautiful pond here with water plants.
Our water plants are probably the best selection you'll get in Southern California, or at least in Orange County. We have water plants year-round. Luckily, our climate is conducive to it.
Hearing the sound of water all around me, and it sounds like you have quite a collection of fountains, too.
We do. We sell a lot of different fountains. We have concrete fountains as well as resin fountains. And they make a nice backdrop for all the plants there.
Well, they're beautiful. Maybe we should wander over to check out some of the fountains. Oh my gosh. And they wrap all around, right? Oh, what you mean is jam. And you have discounts on things.
20% off the entire piece.
Karen, I understand that some plants can be pretty trendy, popular one year and then not so much the next year. What's in style right now?
Well, succulents and cactus are very hot right now, very, very trendy, and have been probably for the last 4 or 5 years, I would think, and they don't see any bit of slowing down right now. We have a good selection, a great selection of all different kinds of cactus, and the cactus and succulents are very low maintenance, probably the lowest you can get, but they also are really sticky, and they get spiny, and sometimes you have to be careful with them, especially this cactus. The succulents, on the other hand, usually just have spines on their ends, but definitely will give you a dramatic effect in your yard.
One of my favorite places here at Green Thumb Nursery is the information booth, with a knowledgeable staff who can answer any and every question you have about plants, house plants, outdoor plants, whatever kind of plant. And I'd like to know, where do you find these people that are so knowledgeable?
Well, Green Thumb attracts quite a few people that are very, very interested in plants. They like plants, so they come here because they like them. And they learn and learn and learn if they don't know. And many of our employees have horticulture degrees or certificates, and many of them are California Certified Nursery Professionals. So nothing is better than doing it and working with it to learn. Kim actually here is at our desk right now, and she started here as a cashier. She had a preference to try to work in the nursery. She showed the initiative, and now she's working in the nursery, and she is now our floral buyer. So she buys all of our floral plants.
Oh, that's a big job. And here you are at the information booth answering questions. What is the most common question you're getting these days?
It's usually watering issues. People want to know why their plant's not thriving, and a lot of times it is the water, but it's our job to help them seek answers and make sure that they're doing the right thing to help their plants. So we actually just recently purchased a microscope where we can actually put leaves under there, and we have a little chart here that we can kind of show diseases, and we've got one on bugs as well, so we can take this in, let them look under the microscope and help them get to the root, no pun intended, of their problem.
Very much appreciated by the community as well. Living in Laguna Woods, you are a go-to place when it comes to answering any question. And I've just discovered a new department I had no idea existed here. It's the Miniature Fairy Garden Department. And here we have the Fairy Queen, Sarah.
Hello, hi, I'm Sarah Mata. I'm in charge of my fairies. I have beautiful fairy houses, and I have many different fairies. I have patio furniture for the fairies, and every single piece that I have here is just beautiful. And these pieces can be used in the garden to make a little, I will say, miniature garden. We also have another department that accomplished this, and it's the mini plants. We have a mini department for the mini plants. So this is our
It's
beautiful.
a fascinating
It's
addition.
a fascinating
Is it so?
addition, and
Has
it's
has it been here for many years?
for possibly 2 to 3 years. And I have a lot of fairy customers.
Okay, good to know. Well,
Fairy
thank you.
customers, little fairy customers.
Little, of course. Thank you,
Yeah,
Sarah.
you're welcome.
Fascinating.
It's my pleasure.
Well, I see you have a substantial seed department here as well, Karen. This is huge. Do you have many people that plant from seed?
Seeds are very, very popular. We sell quite a few. Grow your own is very popular because people are more conscious about natural and organic things, so they want to know what's in all their food. So we have a wide selection of seeds, from burpee seeds down to Renee's garden, and also botanical interest.
And now we're in the patio furniture area that has not only beautiful patio furniture, but much more as well. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, Karen.
Well, we have a variety of silk plants here, and these days the silk plants are getting so that you can't tell if they're real or if they're silk, and they're just amazing looking. And so for the people with the black thumb, they're very, very good.
You know, one other thing I'd like to ask you about is an event that takes place every July. I believe it's called Ladies' Night.
Oh, yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we do have a ladies' night. I think this year may be our 4th. I don't remember for sure. But it started out kind of slow as a small little event that we planned, and it just morphed into this craziness. And the ladies' night, we open the doors at 6 o'clock, and it lasts till about 8:30 or 9. We serve wine as well as just treats like, peanuts, popcorn, fruit, things like that. And everyone gets together. It's a very, very social event. And we give a 20% off discount for anything you want to buy that night at the event. But
Karen, it's always a pleasure to be here at Green Thumb Nursery, and thank you so much for the tour that you've given us today. So, as you say, it's always a great day at Green Thumb, and we will see you all again soon.